review I did was of 52 research papers that were in the area of you can expatriate challenges, the experiences of expatriates, the reasons why people take on expatriate assignments, and also the factor of gender that comes in expatriate assignments. So this was how I broke it up, which was into my introduction of why I did it, the literature review of the 52 documents, the gaps that I found after having read through them, why I decided that this was an important enough matter to take on to do a literature review, the objectives that I intend to take on after having seen the research gaps, the methodology that I would employ, and a small summary of each of the articles which I had read through. So just to give a brief about what is the aspect of expatriate life in Thailand for Indians. So that was my focus, was the Indian expatriates here in Thailand, because I've lived through this experience. It was more out of curiosity that I wanted to pursue this question. And as you can see that, in fact, I work in one of these companies, which is the Aditya Birla Group. And so there are a lot of Indian companies which are present here in Thailand. And there is a large population of people of Indian origin who have dated back from the time of pre-independence India, various categories. There's a huge Namdhari Sikh community here. Coming back to, as I said, there were a lot from pre-independence, but post-1970s, as the country opened up for foreign investment with the Board of Investment of Thailand, inviting Indian companies to come in and set up industry, there's been a large movement of Indian expatriates coming to Thailand in expatriate roles. So now there are various types of expatriate assignments that come in. They can be short-term, they can be long-term. There are a lot of benefits, advantages, and there are also many challenges that come with it. So I broke down the review into 3 segments. One was, why do people take it on? The second, that is expatriation as a whole. The second one was about Indians in Thailand, specifically to the diaspora that exists here, people like me, expatriates who come in, and the trailing spouses and the family members. And of course, me being a female expatriate, the third one was, of course, the challenges that people like me face out here. And it was challenging to find research articles specific to Indians and Thailand. So that itself was a big research gap that I found. So as I mentioned, I broke it down into these various factors, and each of my sets of papers I studied under these. I have put in, you can say, I have read through the papers and created the review based on my understanding on an overall picture under these 3 headings. So I won't take up too much of your time. So this is about the first one, which was the definition of success and failure of expatriate assignments. They were covered in quite a few papers. I have mentioned them here. I use Zotero, so that I found that to be very useful in terms of my being able to put this together. And so this was part 1. So yeah, then this was the second part, which was about Indians in Thailand. This covered Thai Indians who've been here. It covered expatriate Indians. It covered a little bit, very, very small amount about Indians in Thailand. Mostly it was focused on the diaspora and not on people who've just about come here to work. So that is, as I said, that was a huge gap that I found. Then, of course, there are points about Indian cultural influences that are there in Southeast Asia as a whole and on Thailand, which handling external affairs, I also feel that the Indians government, the embassy, has been trying to make a very big contribution in trying to establish these linkages that we have. And of course, this continues talking about the various kind of roles that expatriate families also have here in Thailand. That includes the trailing spouse in many cases. It includes the children who have to come here, live, work, especially living. So schooling here is very good, but the college education requires children mostly to go out and study. So that includes Thai Indian children also, who become children of a third culture. So they're Indian, but Thai, but have to go out to America or the Canada to study. And when they come back, it's like a hodgepodge of cultural experiences that they face. Now, the final part was, of course, very importantly, and I intend to do a research paper on this one, is about, about Indians. My battery somehow has come low. I don't know why. Indians who have been studying here, who have been working here, they bring their spouses along with them. And those spouses, unfortunately, are not able to find work, and that becomes very challenging for them. So that is another aspect which I have tried to cover in this. Uh, then, of course, it comes to the female corporate executive, the challenges that they are facing. Thailand is very encouraging about India, about female employment, but still, as in every Asian country, there are challenges that women face. But compared to most other Asian countries, Thailand is extremely comfortable for female workers. Uh, Taking you to the next. So this covers a few of those papers that I read through. Then the last one, if you could see, Indian female expatriates, they engaged in a lot of decision making with spouses, because now, as more and more the Indian women are coming into roles which allow them to move out to work, that is something that the family member support is extremely essential for them to be able to find a satisfactory work-life balance. So this covers some papers I read around that. Now here comes to the research gaps. So these were the main ones that I found. And one was, of course, my own when I got a transfer here, everybody thought I was just coming here to, enjoy myself, have massages, and, just have a good life. So there's an Indian corporate view about Thailand. The Indian expatriate experience in terms of why someone is selected, why are they sent, that is the other thing. There is absolutely a lack of studies on the Indian expatriate experience here in Thailand for them, for their families, especially for their trailing spouses. There is a huge imbalance in terms of the assignments that are given. I mean, I'm the only female here, Indian female here in my entire company, and my company is a pretty large company. So gender dynamics and the problem which is faced by trailing spouses, specifically because of the Thai law that does not provide working rights to the spouses of the expatriates. There are a lot of career paths which are blocked for expatriates, which are only for Thai locals. So unlike America, where a H-1B visa holder can have a spouse which has a H-4 supporting option to work, Thailand does not have that. Now, you would say, why is it that I was interested in this? One is we talk about the look east policy of the Indian government, and because I interact here very frequently with the Indian government officials, this is something I have discussed with them quite a bit. And yes, as a woman who who has done her MBA in HR, the challenges that are faced by the hiring department are as obvious as the why someone is not recruited. So that is something I have wanting to study. So these are the objectives. And of course, when you come to, you will ask what is the fifth, which is policy recommendations. My feeling is that once my thesis is over, I have been discussing here with the Board of Investment as to why they don't allow visa options for trailing spouses who are capable enough to look at least for jobs. So that is how I want to use this study as a backbone of my discussion with the Board of Investment, with whom we deal with quite a bit, because they are opening up visas for digital nomad, for retirement, for this, for that, but they're not looking at high quality expatriates who they're losing out, who are living in their country but are unable to work because they came along with their with their husband or their wife who actually got the job. Finally, of course, this is the methodology that I would employ. This would be a whole lot of identification of key challenges. I would do this by I think this has gone up. Sorry, I don't know where. Yeah, this would be by interviewing HR professionals and exploratory research. It could be using convenient sampling. Obviously, I'm based in Bangkok, so I would use people who are available in Bangkok. Bangkok also has the largest number of Indian expatriate population. I would exclude Indian expatriates who have come here who are self-employed. There are a lot of people who take Tandao, which is the PR and they start working for themselves. So I would remove that. I would stratify this into the various age groups that are possibly, one way of defining whether it becomes easier to come in a junior role or at a senior role. From my experience, it is at a senior role because Thailand has a certain basic amount that you have to be getting as a salary to come here as an expatriate. So this is the way I would go about doing it, is my plan. Of course, this falls into the various kind of data groups that for the sampling, and my sampling frame that I have looked at is within Thailand, within hopefully Bangkok, within MNCs, looking at their trailing spouses, how they were employed before and how they find employment once they come here. And of course, I have various agencies I'm in touch with, who I have mentioned here. That's the Indian Association of Thailand, the India Thai Chamber of Commerce, or the Chamber of the Accounting Professionals, which is here. Now, obviously, I have to take into consideration that there are a lot of laws that I need to look at. The Thai PDPA law, which came into effect in July of 2023, is very stringent in terms of ensuring that anonymity is maintained. So that is very critical part. Now, of course, I have broken down each and every article that I had, along with the details of the publisher, the indexing of the ISSN, all of the details, the DOI, all of that. So that's like a huge number. That's like, well, it's the whole 52 of them. So no point in me taking you through all of them. So there's each and every one where I've put in the key findings. So that's how I had managed to get across to the summarization, which I had done earlier in the introductory part. So this is like 52 articles. And as I've mentioned on top, under which heading do they come in? And of course, I've ended with the bibliography of the entire set of 52. And I would like to thank Zotero more than anyone else for the